Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. So in today's video guys, I want to talk about Bionano Genomics, ticker symbol BNGO, which is very popular during these days. Yesterday on Friday we had an incredible day, plus 21.29%. It was the close of the day. Stock which is now trading at around 1.9 billion in market cap. Now in the week we have had very great news for the stock. They have completed the new share issuance, and they also talked about their Sapphire system that it can be useful to detect actually this virus pandemic stuff, why some people get worst case or why some people they just basically don't even realize that they have the virus. So we are gonna see that. Then the main purpose of this video guys is today I want to really actually give you some real value. I'm gonna show you a template which you can download down. You have the link down in the description below, where basically you can play with it and try to put your numbers, okay? Because at the end of the day, guys, even though this kind of market right now, it looks like their fundamentals, they don't make any sense. But if you like investing, you will realize that over the long term, fundamentals are basically the only thing that matters. So we are gonna try to take a look at that, so to have actually an investment idea in mind. The only thing I ask you guys, as always, is please leave me another like, and is the only thing I ask you, very important. I thank you for it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new updates. Let's begin. Now, if you remember my previous video that I did about Bionano, I was basically saying that I really like the project. I really wish and hope for this genomic stuff to actually succeed in what they are planning to do, okay? Because it will really be a very positive sign for the mankind, in my opinion. So solving very bad illnesses, and it would be amazing, okay? So they have my major support in what they do. However, I told you that we have to look stuff under an investor's point of view, and at the moment I wasn't feeling very confident about investing in this stuff because it is not easy to understand, okay? If you are not a scientist or if you don't have studied this kind of stuff. What is the problem in my opinion, and why I'm making this video? Because when we see this kind of popular genomic stocks and you go on YouTube and you have literally hundreds of videos of people talking about news, and they talk about news and they say this is gonna be massive, okay? The word which is very famous nowadays is massive. They always say that it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be the future. But well, you know what, for me those are just words, okay? But how does actually those words translate into real numbers, into real fundamentals? Because in the long term, again, you will realize that this is the only thing that matters, okay? Numbers, and not just words. It's gonna be the future, yes, okay? So what? What is gonna be the earnings? What are gonna be the free cash flows and net income, okay? That's the real thing in the long term. And then in the short term, you can have explosions, but then if those explosions are not sustained by fundamentals, the stock is gonna go back to where it was, okay? Once the hype has finished. Otherwise, if the fundamentals actually sustain the company, we can see that it could be a 10x opportunity, okay? It all depends on the fundamentals. So now, just briefly, this is from yesterday, January 15th, and we have had a very important situation. As I told you, first of all, they have concluded the new issuance of shares. They need capital, obviously, because as they lose money, they need more capital to go on and continue to develop and grow the business. While this one is very important as well, meanwhile, Bionano held its next generation cytogenomics symposium online user meeting this week to showcase application for its Sapphire optical genome mapping platform for detecting structural variants of clinical significance. This included application of Sapphire in constitutional genetic disease, hematologic malignancies, solid tumors, and this one that I cannot say on YouTube, which, by the way, it's important, okay? Try to understand these issues. So that was obviously a very, very great news, but what we have to understand is how these news translate to reality, because otherwise I get comments like, what should I do now with my BNGO Stock. But this is not just for BNGO Stock, this is for every stocks, okay? So because the problem is, guys, when you do an investment, okay, when you press the buy button, you need to have in mind a specific and precise investment plan, okay? You need to have expectations. You need to know why you're buying at that price and what do you expect, what the company will do. And those expectations, you just have those expectations because of numbers, because of fundamentals, okay? Not with words. Because you say, okay, I buy these stocks because people on YouTube are saying that it's gonna be massive, okay? So that's the reason why I'm buying today, yes, okay? But what does the massive mean? So to try to answer this question, I have done this spreadsheet, okay? And it is something that, as I told you, you can download it and try for free. What I really would like to encourage you, especially if you are a new investors and you are approaching this world, it is a wonderful time to get in, okay? It's wonderful. Nowadays, the stock market has been crazy, okay? But I really encourage you to try to study more fundamentals and not just to buy stocks because other people are saying to buy stocks. Do your own research. Is probably the most beautiful thing that you can do. You don't depend on anyone. And the first thing that we have to understand is that the company is in very early stages. So first of all, it is almost impossible to do a discounted free cash flows because they lose money, they're not profitable, and we don't know when they're gonna be profitable. Most likely they won't be profitable until at least 2023 or 2024. What I wanted to do is actually a very simple model, but gives you an idea on what to expect, whether the price today is too much or too low, with the net income. Once you have a new company, the first thing you want to do is not try to see how much revenue will grow because you don't have history. You want to see how much the market will grow, okay? And in this case, the market is the global genomics market. So what you do, you go on Google, you type global genomics market, forecast, overviews, and then you have different articles of basically economists that they're trying to forecast the growth of the market. Now, if you actually go there, you will realize that they don't agree with each other most of the times, and that's typical of when something is very new, okay? It's very difficult to actually understand how much it will grow. Obviously, uncertainties, once again, this is why the stock price can go up 20% and then down 10% the day later, because people don't really understand how much these things should be priced. Now, this one is for Fortune Business Insights, and it looks like that overall they kind of find an agreement on saying that the market, this is basically according to a report published by Fortune Business Insight, the genomics market size was worth 18.85 billion in 2019. It will exhibit a compounded annual growth rate of around 19.5% for this period, okay, until 2027. Now, when we go to see the market opportunity of Bionano, we realize that the two main segments for them are the research part, as I said in the previous video, and to provide a clinical diagnosis, okay? So the diagnostic market, which is very, very important. And as I told you also, because this is confirmed also by the acquisition that they made in summer, okay, end of August. So about this market, this entire market over there, which is forecasted to be that by 2027, Bionano will take a stake of it, considering that according to articles, their products is very great compared with other companies. They will take a share of this 82.6 billion, and that will make up their revenue, okay? So what you want to do, first of all, to take that, remember 19.5 and what forecasted to be that. So what we do, this is the first thing we have. You go on market size 18.85, and then they say 19.50%. Now remember to write only in this green parts, okay? The other things, just leave it as it is, otherwise it doesn't work anymore. So you put 19.50% until 2027, and this is the result you have, a market of 78.38 billion. I put 2027A, so this is the scenario that you do with growth rates. You can put the growth rates you want, and then I did the B, where you basically manually just put the size of the market in 2027, whatever you want, okay? Just do your own research and put it there. And what I want to put here is this 82.60 billion is what they say. So we go there and we put 82.60 billion, and that's perfect. Now we have to understand, this is a very important assumption. What is going to be the market share that Bionano BNGO stock is going to take from this or this in 2027? I want to start obviously quite conservative. We can say 3%. The revenue would be 2027 in this first scenario 2.3 billion, and in this almost 2.5 billion. Now here we have another very important assumption, and this is the net margin, because as we know right now BNGO stock is losing money, losing a lot, pretty normal of companies in early stages, but hopefully at sometimes in the future will come profitable, okay? Especially we are talking about 2027. And what you do, I have already done that, but usually I go to see some similar stuff, okay? So what I did, I went to see the big pharma that they make 14%. Then I went to more sort of like a laboratory in chemistry stocks, okay? So this kind of stuff, research and stuff. And then you want to try to do an average of those things and take a comparable. For this example, I want to take, let's say, 4%, okay? You do 4% in both scenarios. And here is going to be the net income that the company will make in 2027, which is in billions. So that would be 94 million, and that would be 99 million, okay? Almost 100 million in this B scenario. Here is the magic, the PE ratio. In 2027, how much would it be the forward PE ratio? So the stock on the market, how much at a multiple will be traded compared to their earnings. When we take a look at that, remember that big pharma are around at the moment 24. What is the thing? The thing is that this will probably be very innovative, so I expect more. According to Peter Lynch, he says that sometimes in the future the stock should be trading, a growth stock, innovative, at around 40 PE ratio. Now we can put 40, we can put 45. At the moment, let's just put 45. And what we have, market cap. The market cap in 2027, it calculates it for you, it will be 4.2 billion. In that case, 4.4 billion. The discount rate, how much are you willing to take in order to assume the risk, okay? This is obviously the annual, so it is a CAGR discount rate. Let's put it at 13%, okay? So 13. Then if we want to be more conservative, for example, we can put 14, okay? Let's put 14, it's better because obviously of the risks involved with these assumptions. Then you have the market cap. Market cap today, this is discounted. The first scenario will be 1.8 billion and this scenario will be 1.9 billion, okay? So remember, if we go to take a look at the day, 1.9. So the shares outstanding, I have already put them for you. Today they are around 227 million shares and it calculates for you. The fair price today, which as we can see, it is very similar to this scenario actually. So the market is expecting this, okay, according to what we have said over there. Now, I leave you the link down in the description so you can play with it. You can do your own research, analysis, and then probably you really understand these things and you expect that this actually will not be that low, will be higher, let's say $100 billion market total by 2027. And that probably you say, well, you know what, Bionano is so great in what they do that they will take a 4% rate. And then you expect, let's say, the same stuff. Then you want to be even more conservative. You say we discount at 15%, and then you will realize that the fair price today, it looks still undervalued. Let's say the bull case. The bear case, you do your own analysis and you say, you know what, I don't really believe in this thing. In my opinion, it's gonna be 70 over there. So 70 billion, I don't expect a much growth. And I don't really trust the product of Bionano, so I expect a lower market share, let's say 2.50%. What we would have, this is the 27B, the net margin, then you're gonna say, you know what, they will continue to lose money. I don't expect 4% profitability. In my opinion, they will just do 3. And then you go with 3. Forward P ratio, you don't like that much growth, you can say just 40. And then, as you can see here, the fair price will be actually lower, 3.72. So when we take a look at this share going higher and then lower in just 2 days, plus 60%, and then probably it can drop 30%. It is all about the fact that the stock is a very new stock, early stages. And what the market is trying to figure out is how much will this market be? And how much will Bionano take? With this template, quite easy to use, I think, you can actually do your own analysis, do your own expectations. And then here I just put the probability. So what you do over there, you do, let's say, 3 scenarios, okay? I have done 3 scenarios just to show you. It seems to remember the one was basically the price of today. So let's say the normal one. And then we have the bull one, it was around 12.15. And then we have the bear case, which is this one. Okay, so you have 3 scenarios according to the research that you have done, and then here you just put the probability. So the probability, let's say that you are, how confident I am about this scenario, about the normal scenario to happen. Maybe you are, I don't know, 50% confident, okay, so you put 0.5. Then what about the bull case scenario? You are at 30% confident, okay? So you put the 30% over there. And then the bear case, you are 20% confident of the bear case. You see that the system, first of all, here it has to be 1, very important. It sums the probabilities for you, so you don't need to touch this one. And then it calculates the average fair price of today, $8.84. According to these assumptions, okay? So it all depends about what do you expect of a company. But believe me, don't just read the words. Try to do your research. Try to put those words into numbers. I hope you find this video interesting, guys. And leave me a like, leave me a comment below. Tell me what are your expectations with BNGO stock, and tell me what are the fair prices you find with this template, okay? So subscribe to the channel, and as always, guys, have a wonderful day.